Paul, I want to pick up on something that Tom said there, which was the annoyance about going behind Trump's back, because you have Special Envoy Steve Witkoff's going to meet with Putin in Moscow in the coming days. The timing of launching the type of attack that Russia launched against Ukraine, when you know you have an emissary from the United States coming to begin negotiations, that sort of announces your negotiating position.
The only person in the world who seems to trust Putin is Trump. And he's paying the price for that if it's in fact true, because Putin does not care what Trump wants. Putin does not respect the world order. Putin did not respect some kind of pause around Easter. He continued to kill civilians. And what Trump continues to do is victim shame Zelensky and Ukraine. And that's really what it is. He continues to position us with the bad guys in Russia instead of the good guys in Ukraine. He doesn't talk about, for example, Russia releasing 19,000 children that they've taken from Ukraine. And he's wrong. He doesn't put any pressure on Ukraine. The whole world can see it. And it's an embarrassment. I think Tom's
no pressure
right.
on Russia.
Sorry, no pressure on Russia. It's an embarrassment to the United States. It's an abandonment not just of Ukraine and of NATO, but of American values, of the Republican Party's values, of everything we've stood for generations. And I think we have to have every opportunity to say he doesn't speak for most Americans. Tom's right. He doesn't speak for most veterans. Most people support Ukraine, want increased support for Ukraine, and don't trust Putin.
There is the chaos as it relates to the way in which he is handling sensitive information, both in terms of the mechanisms he's using and apparently his penchant for cut and paste. There's also Politico reporting today that his chief of staff, Joe Casper, is leaving the agency, will continue to support the Pentagon as a special government employee. What do you think is going on here, Paul?
I think they're all jumping ship. And this is the fifth now advisor to Hegseth that's out. I've called him Secretary Mayhem because this is mayhem that's now not just overwhelming him, it's surrounding the entire building. And I think he's always been sloppy and incompetent and unprofessional, but he thinks the rules don't apply to him. And these rules are in place to ensure that people don't die. Tom's right. I mean, the Chinese, the Russians would love to have an unsecured line going into anywhere in the Pentagon, especially into the Secretary's office. But I think this is really important for another reason. Hegseth was first to get through. He was a radical culture warrior. Trump put all the chips in and got it through by one vote. He's now the first one to be surrounded and eaten by his own. And I think that could be an indicator of what could happen to others.
Meaning the staff that he has selected.
The people he brought in are now leaking about him. That's where these stories are coming from, about the makeup room, and now about, they say in the Daily Mail that they call his wife Yoko Ono behind her back. She's there as a leash to keep him in check. These stories are coming from people who were close to him, and he just fired 5 people close to him. So they haven't even started to push these stories out, and we were already getting damning stories about Hegseth before they were out. Now that they're out and they're turning against him, and everywhere from Politico to Tucker Carlson, it's on. It's going to be a feeding frenzy, and that's bad news not just for him and our national security, but also for people like Kristi Noem and Kash Patel and RFK Jr., who are also sloppy and sooner or later will run afoul with people that they hired.
Note that Hegseth's spokesperson has said that he does not, has claimed he does not use Signal on his personal computer. How can he possibly, just real quick, stay focused on the task at hand?
He can't. And every answer is a dodge. And I think there's another important point. Hegseth was picked because he's great at TV and because he's a master manipulator. He's struggling on TV right now. He looks shook. He looks rattled. And Trump is watching that. And I don't think he's going to last long if that keeps up.